Trump popped off on Truth Social this morning, released his video. It's good hogwatch. Let's fucking go, dude. I love when they just give me. I love when shit happens to the Republicans because they just react in the worst way possible. So are we calling it a raid? I don't know what language you're using anymore. I mean, it's not. I like it because it upsets Republicans. Okay. I'm of the mindset that I'm in it for the content and I'm in it for like seeing whatever the fuck upsets the hogs the most. And it seems like they're more upset about it being a raid and it's like the worst thing and this is the Gestapo and you know, Steven Crowder is like calling for a fucking civil war and shit. Like, it's awesome. They're full-blown screaming baby mode and I love it. And here it is. I blasted off. Juice this. Yeah, Raid Shadow Legends style. But yeah, they're losing their fucking minds over it. Everyone who wants to be a centrist on it, everyone who wants to like make a killing in like the pro-Trump market is using this as like the grossest misconduct of all time. So remember, kids, they're not triggered. It's just justified, rational, rage directed valiantly towards a singular goal. Yeah, no. They're not triggered. God, please do not say I've been owned. Please do not say I'm triggered. Do not. No matter what happens, do not say I'm triggered, okay? Please, is kind of the same goal. But it doesn't even end there. Okay, Donald Trump has had a bad 24 hours, okay? He has had a not good, very bad past 24 fucking hours. Now, earlier yesterday, god damn it, my fucking my keyboard always getting disconnected. So earlier yesterday, federal agents stormed the beautiful, wonderful, gold-plated halls of Mar-a-Lago. Okay? They did that. They went in, they had a warrant, they had a search warrant specifically that detailed a safe that Donald Trump had inside of Mar-a-Lago, his Florida home, where he lives. For those of you who don't know, that's where he lives, in Mar-a-Lago. Donald Trump was unfortunately not there, because if he was there, it would have been so much better. But unfortunately, he was not there. He lost his mind and said, like, you know, this is the worst. This is the worst thing that could have ever happened to any American president. Meanwhile, American presidents have been fucking assassinated and shit, so I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But yeah, he's been losing his fucking mind over it, and so have the Republicans. But it doesn't end there. There's so much going on. There's also the Ways and Means Committee in the DC Circuit has just affirmed that the Ways and Means Committee, okay, can actually obtain Trump's tax returns. So my man's going through a lot, and he's not having a good go at it. Okay, this has not been a good Tuesday for Trump, but it's been a wonderful Tuesday for us. Okay, so there's a lot of content. I'm gonna just fire it off. I'm gonna get right into it. Okay, we're going right into it. No more fucking screaming. No more random chatters coming in and being like, dude, watch my issue immediately, drop everything, all that fun stuff. So let's get right into it. So first and foremost, is this raid a big deal? A lot of people are wondering, is this raid a big fucking deal? Yeah, it is a big deal. Okay? These are all, I mean, this is a big fucking deal. A previous president getting raided by the federal government, that's a big deal always. It's unprecedented. It's pretty solid. So that's a lot of fun. So there's truth there. Now, hopefully, and as I mentioned yesterday multiple times over, I hope that there is more to it than just this raid happening or this like, evidence request or like, I don't know, evidence extraction happening. Because of how big of a fucking deal it is, I really hope that it's more than just, oh, he misfiled or he mishandled classified information. Also, we're going to juice this one more time. Okay? Because remember, I looked at the information that was available yesterday to us and said, if this is just about like mishandling evidence, mishandling classified evidence, classified information, then this is literally just like a ridiculous thing to do in comparison to, like the actions that the government took was gigantic in comparison to how minor of a crime it is in most instances, because it offers a lot of leniency. The government offers a lot of leniency because everyone does this. Everyone takes classified information or documents that they shouldn't on their own, for their own personal use or whatever the fuck. Okay. And not only that, but also the president has the capacity to declassify anything and everything they want, technically. Now, you say mishandling classified evidence can disqualify an individual from holding office. Yeah, that's a anti-whistleblower provision. So you're right about that. However, what you're wrong about is you're talking about the president. You know what the declassification process is for the president? It's quite simple. It's just he goes, these are now declassified. I'm the president. And he walks out. Okay? So I'm still holding out hope that like the FBI didn't pull a fucking Jim Comey style fuck up and unironically did this like massive move, okay, on a previous president, an unprecedented move specifically for like mishandling documents, okay, because that's the nerdiest shit. Having said that, let's not take that away from all the fun we're gonna have today, because Republicans are still losing their fucking minds, and I do think that that's fun. You can classify stuff too, right? I think so. A funny thing is all the Republicans going, this could happen to any of us, and then deleting their tweets because they sound like criminals. Yeah, I mean, technically, it could happen to any of them. It should happen to a lot of them, actually. That would be fun as well. And fuck it, throw some Democrats in the pile, too. I'm such a fucking bipartisan, both sidists, centrist when it comes to that issue. Throw some Democrats in the pile. Dianne Feinstein, Nancy Pelosi, get some of the top dogs. Chuck Schumer. I'm on board, baby. Let's go. Rate them all. So, total centrism from me. The real ass centrism. Not this fucking fake ass Andrew Yang centrism. Andrew Yang goes, I'm no Trump fan. I'm a fan of math. I want him as far away from the White House as possible. But a fundamental part of his appeal has been that it's him against the corrupt government establishment. This raid strengthens that case for millions of Americans who will see this as unjust persecution. It's like, bro, let me just say something, okay? Just because Donald Trump comes across and has successfully lied to millions of Americans about being like a hero does not change the reality that he himself is like very much a corrupt piece of shit. What the fuck is this? What the absolute fuck is this? I mean, a lot of people think he's like this brave, a lot of people think he's this brave anti-corruption advocate. It's like, no, but he's still corrupt. And not only is he corrupt, but because of his like entire life experience being the most entitled man on the fucking planet, he is really sloppy. Okay? Donald Trump, and I've said this so many times, like, and this is part of the reason why a lot of conservatives oftentimes mistake what I'm saying for, like hating the Democrat or my hatred for the Democratic Party as like, as grounds that I must be like a Republican or something. Donald Trump is just as corrupt, if not more corrupt, than every other prior administration. The only difference is he's too stupid not to try and cover his fucking tracks. Do you understand? Like, previous presidents have never been like, yeah, let's have some fucking low-level guy in our administration go directly talk to like a Russian asset, you know, and openly state on the timeline that, like, I would love to get some opposition research from a foreign government against the person I'm running for. Like, that's unique. Like, he's very openly doing this shit. And I think because many people just automatically and correctly assume that politicians are pieces of shit and they are corrupt, they see Donald Trump's open corruption as a breath of fresh air. Like, that's part of his appeal. Okay? That, of course, he's fucking corrupt, just like everybody else is, but at least he's doing it out in the open. Like, he's honest about his dishonesty, right? And he's dishonest for you. He's been able to sell the idea that he is dishonest, but he's dishonest for you. Okay? How can he be that stupid, though? He has so many advisors working for him. I mean, what do you mean? Like, every fucking celebrity, every incredibly powerful person basically gets to a point where they can hire whoever the fuck they want. And when they're at that point and everyone's livelihood revolves around them, you can absolutely change their behavior. You can hire people that are yes men, sycophants, people that won't check you, people that will just simply turn around and say what you want to hear. And Donald Trump famously has a cadre of individuals like that. Yeah, he also just fires the ones who tell him to do the right things that he doesn't want to do. Exactly, that too. But yeah, this is a good summarization of it. This rate strengthens that case for millions of Americans who have been brainwashed, so I'll just continue to vie for their vote. Exactly. Seems like this was authorized by a local judge in a particular FBI office without buy-in or notification of higher levels of government. I don't believe that. Like, Merrick Garland, the attorney general, is informed on this, okay? You can't go and open the doors up of Mar-a-Lago with federal agents without of the previous president's home without prior notification from the attorney general at the very least, and definitely the top levels of DOJ and the FBI. Okay? Like, you know, Christopher Wray, who ironically was also appointed by Donald Trump 5 years on the dot before this raid happened, was well informed about this. These sorts of things don't get signed off on. It's not like a fucking it's not like those secret courts that you go to like personally unlock surveillance for your ex-wife as an FBI agent. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a fucking FISA court. This is the material evidence that you are supposedly getting has to reach a certain bar. You can't just be like, oh, I just want to go inside the fucking halls of Mar-a-Lago and look in Donald Trump's safe. Like, it doesn't work that way. So certainly there is a lot of high-level involvement in this, which is part of the reason why I was like, the FBI is pretty fucking incompetent. They're pretty stupid. They're pretty bad. But they can't be this bad, right? Like, I still want to hold out. Specifically because it really triggers Republicans. Mostly because I'm motivated by spite. But, like, the FBI can't be so fucking bad that they just straight up did a gigantic move like this, going into Mar-a-Lago and going into Trump's safe, specifically to recover 15 classified documents, like 15 boxes of documents that were classified, that were mishandled. It is literally like an accounting error being executed by the IRS collaborating with the FBI or something when the guy is like a murderer. You know what I mean? It is kind of like Al Capone is what I'm saying. You're assuming the FBI didn't do this specifically to help him in the polls and create a narrative? Okay, that is tinfoil hat shit. And normally I'm on board, but I do think that in this circumstance, there's more... I think that there's a higher likelihood that this was just like a minor thing that they put out a major move on without really thinking about it. FBI totally had a napkin with the words, "I can raid this." They're 100% allowed to do what they did. What? What? Of course they're allowed to do what they did. The point is, make no mistake, the FBI is doing what they are able to do, what they can do, of course. But leniency is often expected in circumstances like this. And Trump himself is so fucking corrupt and so awful and so clearly in violation of the law in like a million different ways that having an FBI raid, like a big deal like this, be conducted specifically for mishandled classified evidence that Trump could have declassified personally is ridiculous. So I'm still holding out hope that it's not just about mishandled information and there's a larger plan of attack.
Right now, I want to get to the investigation of former President Trump. There you see him leaving Trump Tower last night after news broke of the FBI searching his Florida residence, Mar-a-Lago. Chief Washington correspondent John Carl starts us off. Good morning, John.
Good morning, George. This may be the most politically explosive raid ever undertaken by the FBI.
It's a stunning development. The FBI executing a search warrant at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago property in Palm Beach, Florida, the place Trump has called the Southern White House. Trump himself revealed the news overnight, calling it an unannounced raid on my home, saying in a statement agents even broke in.
Dude, I love this part. They even broke into my safe. No! It's like, it's literally, it has the energy of that no emote, dude. It's like, not my safe. Is nothing sacred? No!
Into my safe and claiming his home, quote, is currently under siege, raided and occupied by a large group of FBI agents. Trump was in New York at the time.
I love the unannounced raid as opposed to an announced raid, which would kind of defeat the purpose of the announced raid.
Not Mar-a-Lago. He ignored questions as he left Trump Tower. Federal law enforcement sources confirm agents executed a search warrant at around 10 a.m. Monday. Sources tell ABC News the action was related to allegations Trump improperly removed documents, including classified documents from the White House when he left office. In January, the National Archives retrieved 15 boxes worth of White House documents from Mar-a-Lago with Trump's cooperation.
Oh, that's a big-ass safe, by the way. What the fuck? Wait.
15 boxes worth of White House.
Now, that's the other part of this, for the record. That's the other part of this. And that is that, like, they knew about this for months. Like, they took these out. And people at the time said that this was illegal and inappropriate. Like, this is not new news, you know what I mean?
House documents from Mar-a-Lago with Trump's cooperation. Sources tell ABC News the Department of Justice had started a grand jury investigation in May into Trump's alleged mishandling of classified information. They subpoenaed the National Archives for the classified material it had retrieved from Mar-a-Lago. Attorney General Merrick Garland has been tight-lipped about any investigations related to Trump, but he made clear last month that nobody, not even a former president, is immune from prosecution.
I love that take where it's like Obama ran on prosecuting the prior administration for literally doing torture and closing Guantanamo Bay. And then he was just like, we must not look backwards, we must look forwards. And then what? The first time a fucking president actually gets popped like this, like a previous president, it's going to be over mishandling classified information? Come on, please tell me it's not the nerdiest fucking reason. I'm going to lose my mind, dude. Actually, I won't, because the only thing keeping me going right now in the sea of all this chaos is just watching Republicans melt the fuck down. So I'm still happy. You know, shouts out to the FBI. I love the law enforcement. I'm out here literally fucking running around like this, okay?